But moving on, let's talk about MT Educare, another stock that is in focus today because of the earnings that the company had come out with. Their consolidated net profit increased to almost 7.84 crore rupees in the third quarter. Income was also higher, strongly at 70.6 crores in the third quarter. The stock is doing pretty well in trade, about 5.5% higher as we speak. There has been a sharp expansion in the EBITDA margins as well at 22.6 crore, 6%. I beg your pardon, versus 19.8% on a yearly basis. We have the management now joining us, Mr. Yagnesh Sanghrajka, who's CFO at MT Educare. Thank you very much, Mr. Yagnesh, for being with us here on NDTV Profit. Good to have you on the show today. So it turned out to be a strong quarter for the company. Can you tell us, was the strong growth that you've seen, was it because of the RoboMate and RoboMate Plus app that you had launched?
Yeah, very true. I mean, the recent growth in the last couple of quarters has been on the mainly on the back of growth in terms of the digital content sale, which is branded as RoboMate. RoboMate Plus app was launched basically in the last month, and in the first month itself, we have seen more than 100,000 registrations. So that has also kind of contributed to the and this is a free app, but what happens is when people get onto the app and see the videos, they are inclined to obviously place orders with us for the offline. So we have our e-commerce portal up and running, and also the sale has increased because of retail and institutional sale in the last few quarters. So that has contributed a lot to the growth this quarter as well as 9 months.
Can you tell us the kind of additions that you've seen in terms of, number of students that you've managed to add via this particular app, and what has been the growth on that front?
So the app is very recent, in fact, but the addition in student serviced, we've already seen in the last quarter in RoboMate vertical is almost about 15,000. So we had about 30,000 till 6 months, and that number has gone up to about 46,000 for the 9 months. So in the quarter, the RoboMate was sold to almost 15,000 to 16,000 students, and that is reflected in the increase in the overall count, which has actually gone up by 40,000 during the quarter. So now the improvement in the terms of sales from the app, which are triggered sales from the free app, are going to be seen in the next quarter as well as in the next in the next 1 year or two. So that is happening parallelly. We are investing a lot in terms of technology and content on the cloud and the mobile platform. So that is going to be contributing further to the revenue growth going forward.
Okay, what kind of margins do you really, have you seen in the digital space, particularly the kind of expansion that we've seen, 22.6%, has it come mainly from the digital part?
Yes, you're right. So the more the digital content contributes to the revenue, the higher the EBITDA margin is expected to go, because the past content is already being amortized in the books. So what is happening is the additional sale has a higher EBITDA margin as compared to the classroom revenues. So the incremental EBITDA margins in the RoboMate business is almost 4 to 5%. So as compared to the company EBITDA margins of about 22 right now for the year that you've seen so far. Of course, the fourth quarter for classroom is a little subdued in our case. We have a seasonality in the classroom revenues because everybody is preparing for the exams. So while there are costs incurred, the revenues from classroom generally fall in the fourth quarter. But due to RoboMate sale picking up and that contributing additional EBITDA margins of to the tune of almost 25-26% as compared to 20% margins in the classroom, it should be compensating that as well.
Going forward, are there any fee hikes as well that we can expect from your company?
Fee hikes would probably not be as high as we've seen in the past. We are trying to focus more on reaching a wider target audience. So we are trying to increase count going forward. So if you've seen from last year 9 months, where we were at about 82,000, we are right now at about 132,000 already. So we are trying to, we probably should hit about 150,000 students serviced in this year. So So that is where the focus is, the reach, the target audience, and that's what, and going pan-India. So the focus is more on increasing the count, and which will have a kind of cascading effect on the revenues as well. So that's where the focus is right now.
Okay. Also, a question on the government project segment. How has that been really, like in this particular quarter?
Yeah, so the government projects have contributed almost about 6 to 7 crores in the current quarter, and some of it is driven by the commerce and Yuva segment that we have within our verticals, which also includes skill development and free coaching to various government ministries, which basically train students for CET, CPT, MBA, CET coaching as well, where government pays us the fees, training fees, and the students are the beneficiaries, and also skill development to a certain extent. So this quarter, what you've seen, almost about 70 crores top line. Of that, almost about 6 to 7 crores is contributed by the skill development and free coaching business.
And last question before we let you go. What is the outlook now going forward? Any more launches, anything new that you're really working on? And what are your targets? What kind of top line growth are you expecting in Q4 and for FY17? A lot of initiatives have already been taken. So we're trying to consolidate all our efforts. The focus will definitely be on increasing the reach of the RoboMate free app. In fact, we've already seen good results in our learning management system that we introduced in the classroom. We already got, this year, last exam, CA final, we got the first rank, the 9th rank and the 11th rank all India in CA final. And the IPCC, we got 4th rank, our student. So it's already showing up in the academic excellence in the students. So target is to kind of keep increasing academic growth of the students, and the hope is that on a CAGR front, revenue growth should be near about 25%, and the bottom line growth should be at about 30% going forward. All right, Mr. Yagnesh, we'll leave it there. But thank you very much for joining us here on NDTV Profit and sharing with us the details about the third quarter and the growth targets that you have going forward. As we speak, we'll of course get in touch with you once again. There are new developments as far as RoboMate is concerned. Moving on, let's talk about another new development that has taken place today. The news came in for Mahindra Finance.